Steve Jewin, MMA Mania.
Okay, Steve, whenever you're ready, go ahead.
All right, the mercenary, AJ McKee, always a pleasure to talk to you, and how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm awesome, and I'm excited about this fight you've got coming up with John Macapa, although he wasn't your original opponent. We got a press release saying it was Pat Curran, but obviously he's out due to injury, so how do you feel about this switch?
It's nothing new to me, people pulling out, but it is what it is, you know. I can't focus on that and put my energy into that, you know. I got to be focused on what I'm going to do and what I need to do. So, I'm just prepared, you know. I'm ready. We're 2 weeks out, and I'm looking forward to going in there and doing what I do best, and that's put on a great show for all the fans.
Do you find any irony in the fact that Curran beat Macapa, and yet you're facing a guy that's already been beaten by the guy you were supposed to face?
Not really. I find the irony that Emmanuel Sanchez pulls out of a fight with me and then signs a contract 2 weeks later, and now he's fighting for the title. I find irony in that.
Well, you're not the only one who's said that. I've heard something similar very recently in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, from the lone wolf Darian Caldwell.
Man, all these guys are ducking a lot of people, but even Caldwell, he needs to stay in his division. I'll tell him like I told Pitbull and everybody else. Everybody who's wolfing and talking about this title, man, this is my division. I got the longest win streak. You know, I'm the one that's breaking records, and I'm the one that's undefeated. No matter what, at the end of the day, no one can take away my undefeated record from me, and no one can diminish what I've done, you know, even if people pull out. I'm ready for that title. I'll tell Pitbull the same, or Carlo the same way I told Pitbull. I got a leash in the kennel waiting for these dogs. If they want to go to the pound, I'll take them, you know. But I'm gonna make sure I got my belt around my waist before I do.
I guess it doesn't matter if it's a wolf or a canine, because they're in the same genus of the family tree of species. So it can be either one as far as you're concerned. I know you mentioned that unbeaten streak, and recently we saw James Gallagher's streak get snapped. So does that give you any pause for reflection, given how sure of himself he was, just as sure as you are of yourself?
Nah, you can't compare me to him. There's a difference. I'm fighting real fighters. I'm fighting ex-UFC vets. I'm fighting actual people that are in there to do their job, you know. You can tell he's like an undecided kid, you know. He doesn't know what he wants to do. He doesn't even, you know, he doesn't know if he wants to be at 35 or 45. So for me, you know, I just try not to pay it any attention. At this point, James Gallagher is irrelevant. I blocked him on Instagram. Literally. He's irrelevant to me.
Yeah, I suppose he's irrelevant to Ricky Bandejas, too. He's also moved past him, but I wasn't saying there was a comparison in skill. I just wanted to say, you know, everybody takes that first L at some point. Not saying it's here and now for you, but it does happen to everybody.
Floyd Mayweather never took an L, and I really look forward to being the Floyd Mayweather MMA. If I do what I need to do and I continue to stay on the path that I'm on at this current moment, there's no one in the division or in the sport that will touch me.
Well, that's why they call you the mercenary, so no argument with that. You said earlier that you need to do what you need to do in here with John Teixeira, a.k.a. Macapa. What is it that you look forward to doing the most with him?
Putting a kappa in the Macapa. I look forward to just going out there and putting on a great show for the fans, you know. He's a great fighter. He's fought some of the great fighters in the division, and once again, it's another test for me to just go out there and show what I'm capable of doing. So I look forward to it.
How much of a test, then, was it with Justin Lawrence? I know we talked before that fight, but how do you feel after having that fight, having had that experience with such a proven fighter?
It was a great experience, mainly because that was the first fight I can say mentally I was clear-minded. Everything was going the way I needed it to, and I had a great camp, you know. The fight before that previously, a lot of people don't know, I trained a week for that fight in Ireland as the main event. My dad didn't want me to fight, but me being that warrior, that real true fighter, I'm going to push myself to my limit, and no one knows what my limit is. I still don't even know what my limit is, and I'm not trying to find out what my limit is anymore. So now I'm just doing what I need to do and being capable and prepared.
Well, with no limits like Master P, how long is it before you're taking that world title and putting it around your waist?
It should be me November 10th. But hey, Pitbull, I know he's a dog. He can run, but he can't hide, you know. So it's just a matter of time, and hopefully January. I don't know. I want to come back to my home turf and put on a great show for my fans and friends and family back here in California, and conquer that title at the same time. Hi, Papa.
Are you telling us that it's the Forum in Inglewood then? Is that the plan for January?
I don't know what Bellator has planned, but if they have that plan, I'm definitely looking forward to being the main event and getting that title.
Well, I like the sound of that as well, because that's a nice place to be in January, and it's been a good forum for the fights before, no pun intended, because they've had a lot of big shows there in January.
Yes, they have. My teammates are all fighting on them, so why not put me on there with one of my teammates and let me do what I do best and entertain my friends and family back home.
Who among your team is going to be repping along with you?
Aaron Pico, you got Baby Slice, Joey Davis. We just picked up YL Watson at 135, so he's doing great things in there. Dude, we got such a stacked gym, and our doors are always open. If you want to come in, you know, we have guys that'll come in and they'll train for a week and we never see them again. So it is what it is, you know. Some people are made for it, some people aren't made for it, and not everyone's made for our gym, that's for sure. Mm-hmm. We're a different breed in there, and it's not just we're crazy, but we're crazy and we love each other. You know, it's not just a gym. We're all literally like brothers. If you walk in the gym and you're having a bad day, we're gonna notice that. Stop, man. We're gonna notice that and be like, hey, you look like you need a hug today, you know, and we walk up and give them a group hug. Like, some guys will break down and start crying just because you never know what anyone's going through. And that's the difference of having a family, you know. I don't even train with a mouthpiece because I feel like if you're punching hard enough to bust my lip, then you're going too hard. This is practice, you know, to practice your technique, not practice knocking your head off.
Yeah, we in here talking about practice right now. It's not a game, it's just practice. But seriously, though, is anybody besides you from the body shop at Bellator 205?
205, that's the one I'm fighting on, correct?
Correct.
No. You have Pico, he's fighting the following week up north in San Jose along with Rampage. So
that's
he'll be on that card.
Yeah, he's fighting Leandro Higo. How's he feeling about that fight? How's that coming along for him?
Oh, I'm not worried about it. It's going to be a great show, you know. I've never met anybody hit that hard. Pico hits hard. My dad says Pico. And the thing about Pico is he doesn't get tired and he does not stop. Every punch is going to be the exact same power every single time. So I'm looking forward to him going in there and testing himself. You know, this is a next level jump for him and testing himself competition wise with a seasoned fighter. So I'm excited for him to go in there and put on a show for his friends and family and see what he's capable of.
The thing that flips my wig about Pico is he does it to people with body shots. You don't see that very often.
Nope. And that's what I say. He hits hard. People don't realize it until they get hit. And then they're trying to adjust. By that time you're adjusting, it's too late.
It's that sneaky power. It's like what we saw Jessica Andrade do to Karolina Kowalkiewicz this weekend. They don't know. They look and they think, oh, that's a smaller fighter. They can't hit that hard. And then boom, she just lit her up.
Yep.
And speaking of lighting people up, you went to a decision the last time out. So is there any part of you that's itching to get another knockout right now?
Definitely. Out of my 11 fights, I have 8 finishes. I want finishes. I'm coming up on the most finishes record for most finishes in Bellator as well. So for me, I can't be too eager and I can't be too hungry for it, you know? It is a fight and anything can happen. So I just got to go out there, stay calm, composed, and pick my strikes and do what I do best and put on a show. Who's
got that record for the most finishes? Is it Chandler?
I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure, but I will have it.
Well, that I have no doubt about, but I'm going to look into that and see if I can find out who it was. But in the meantime, what is the biggest thing you've picked up on since the Justin Lawrence fight? What has changed the most for you in camp?
My mental state. Being hungry. The last fight with Justin Lawrence, my fight in Ireland wasn't a great fight. I trained 2 weeks for that fight. A lot of people don't know that. So going to those deep waters and those trenches, it showed me something mentally that a lot of guys don't have. They break. for me, when I dropped him and I saw that, when I got, right before I got to finish, I sat on that stool and I told myself, I said, this is the end of the second round. I know I won the first round. I'm on his home turf. I don't think I'm going to get that. So third round, I said, look, just bite that mouthpiece and get everything you got right now. Leave it all in this cage. And sure enough, it worked. I dropped him, hopped on his neck, and got the finish. The Justin Lawrence fight, it woke me up for that fight. It told me, hey, you can't do that against Justin Lawrence because he's not going to stop. And he hits a lot harder. And he's a kicker. So with that being the case, I went out there and I did what I needed to do, but I still wasn't hungry for it. I was out there playing, you know? I was out there just like doing what I need to do, you know? And that leaves opportunity to be caught. That leaves openings. So with this camp, I'm hungry. I'm back hungry. Like, I mean hungry. That third round with Justin Lawrence, you could see it. I was getting tired of hitting him. Not like physically tired, but tired of punching him. Like, I don't know how to explain it.
No,
I was
actually,
tired of hitting the man. Like, stop coming forward, please.
I could actually give you the perfect example, and I'm going to flip back to UFC 228. It's when Tyrone Woodley was busting on Till with elbows over and over, and at some point the look on his face was like, damn, I've hit him with so many elbows and he's not out. I'm just tired of hitting him with elbows.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's not a good, it's a weird feeling, you know? As a fighter, you would never, that's like a race car driver saying, I'm tired of hitting the gas pedal. That's unheard of, you know?
Well, it's a whole different animal from driving or shooting hoops when you're out there in the cage. It's completely different, and
Yeah.
folks need to appreciate that more. But one thing I appreciate is how charismatic you are, both in the interviews and in the cage. So, you got anything special that you're going to do for us coming up here at Bellator 205?
I don't know. You guys, well, I got a couple of tattoos, so you guys will probably see those. One of them says, your faith must be greater than your fear. And without pain, we wouldn't know joy. So you guys will see those, and you're going to see me put some pain on, John Macapa. Because without that pain, I'm going to have some joy in doing it.
And one last question then as we start to wrap it up here. CenturyLink Arena in Boise, what do you think about that venue for this fight?
I think it's a great venue, you know. I've never seen it, but I looked it up, and it looks like a really big venue. So I'm looking forward to going there and putting on a show for everyone out there in Idaho and at Boise.
Yeah, absolutely. And they've had some big Bellator cards there as well, so yours will be the latest and the greatest. So we're really looking forward to it. But as always, I want to give you this time, AJ, plug anything you like, social media and your team and all that.
Well, first of all, I got to give all the glory to the man upstairs, because none of this would be possible today without him or any other day. I got to thank my dad, my coach. You know, he's my dad, my coach, my best friend, and my mentor, all in one. I got to thank my teammates, Aaron Pico, Lyle Watson, Baby Slice, Joey Davis. We got all kind of guys in there. You know, I want to thank my sponsors, Lena Eggwhite. She makes my weight cuts easy. Dr. Dossman, keeping me nice and healthy. Import Auto Pros, they keep me going fast on the racetrack and in the gym. So, who else? Affliction, they keep my drive alive and keep me dressed up. And I want to thank you. Thank you for having the interview and having me on today.
It's always a pleasure, AJ. I look forward to the next interview, and I look forward to a great performance at Bellator 205 in Boise. Have a great fight with John Macapa.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Have a good one.
You too, and thank you, Dan, as well.